yesterday. Ooh, 'cause we're worlds apart, but just the same. Step up and watch it break down. You really want it? Wanna make a scene? Show me what you mean. Let's get it started. Let me see what you got. Can you pick it up a notch? Don't think you got it. Can't handle the pressure yet. Oh, stop talking about it. Gotta make this count. Let's go. Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Hello and gentlemen, I'm back off my holiday and we're going to go straight into it. So first of all, we're going to do a double bill. So it's going to be episode 2 and episode 3 for Matthew the Dinosaur King's Mesozoic Island. So first off, basically what happens is that we get into the TRexes, and TRexes, they're doing well, obviously, Annabelle and Malachite, and apparently, according to Matthew, they left 10 years ago to go and raise their young, and they raised the 3 juveniles, which are now grown up to be Forrest, who's 11 meters, and Belle, who's 10 meters, and Junior, who's 5 meters. Now, the 4 larger, because Junior basically can't help them fight and stuff and hunt down. They go along and they hunt down an Apatosaurus, and already I like how the character development is, how there's tension between Belle and Forrest, because when Belle and Forrest were younger, Belle actually injured Forrest to a point where he's kind of got a bit of handicap. His tail is kind of bent, it's got a kink in it, so therefore he can't move and run as fast as the others, so there's a bit of a tension there, and I really think that Matthew will drag this out throughout the series, which will be brilliant, which I'll absolutely love. And yeah, I think it's just nice to see them again. It's nice to see that they're doing well, and it's just nice to see that we've already got some character development with these, Tyrannosaurs, and basically, obviously, they take down an Apatosaurus and they feast on that, and yeah, it's just really nice to see that these guys are back in their old territory. They're back for another season, which is brilliant. So up next, we're introduced to 2 new characters, which are TRexes, and they are known as Ivy, Harley, and Ribtip. Now, they are part of a much larger pack, and where they are is they are hunting a herd of Parasaurolophus and I think some Pachycephalosaurus in there as well. But sadly, I think Ivy's son Slash, who's a juvenile Utahraptor, causes a ruckus and obviously scares off the entire herd, which is like, no, why you do that? And obviously there's tension between, he's trying to prove himself, which is good. That builds a lot of that. He's trying to prove himself, but he's kind of comic relief, which I do like as well. And I think as the series will progress, I think Slash will become more of a serious character, to be honest, because he's young, he's inexperienced, he's obviously going to make missteps, he's obviously going to want the affection of his mother and all that. So we get back to the pack, and in my mind, I believe these Velociraptor are a different species of Velociraptor, because Matthew said that not only have they gotten smarter, more intelligent over 126 million years, but the males are the only ones with feathers, and the reason is because they're the ones that actually incubate the eggs and take care of the young, while the females actually go out hunting and help maintain the pack, and that's why they've lost their feathers pretty much, which is really good. It brings in some nice new biology to the series, and it brings on some nice character development already with Slash, who he's just a baby and he's trying to prove himself. And then finally for this episode, we come across Alice, the Allosaurus, and she returns in this role, obviously as Alice. Well, what else she would return as? But she ends up coming across a carcass of a Brachiosaurus, and guess who's there? Grayskull. Now, Grayskull is obviously this is taking place 10 years after the events of season 2, and obviously she remembers. But the reason she doesn't attack Grayskull when they see each other is because Grayskull has a brother called Guanji, which is a nod to the Valley of the Guanji, which is a brilliant dinosaur film. And she obviously just leaves them to it, and then she goes for a sleep, beats a hadrosaur, comes back. Turns out there's 2 juvenile Allosaurus trying to get in there. They get attacked by Guanji and Grayskull, and Alice I think she still has maternal instincts. She still has maternal instincts in my mind. It seems like she wouldn't do, but I think she still does. That's why she came in and attacked Guanji and Grayskull to protect the juveniles, and she puts up a good damn fight. I mean, she's obviously furious because Grayskull obviously killed their kids, which is just annoying, but you know, whatever. And what I also like is that I like how she didn't go and take care of the juveniles. She's left the juveniles. She's gone off on her own, which is really good. But I think what will happen is that in the future, those two Allosaurus will repay her. You know, will like give her back some payment. You know, like thank you and all that. Maybe if the series progresses a bit longer and they grow up, maybe we can have the two juvenile Allosaurus and Alice versus Grayskull and Guanji. I keep calling Squall. Why do I do that? So yeah, that's episode 2. I'm sorry, but apparently Spain has like messed with my brain. Oh god, I'm rhyming. Right, see, there we go, rhyming. So that's episode 2 done. Now let's get on to episode 3. And well, episode 2 was great. I think episode 2 was really good. It's also very long. It's nearly 20 minutes, which is surprising. So yeah, nice long episode. Really good character development. And yeah, so let's get into episode 3. So episode 3, we get straight into it with the Ceratopsian herd, which is made up of like Todd, his mate, and their children. And Todd's obviously grown older, but basically, what also happens in this situation is that a group of Iguanodon come along, and they basically just join the herd for some reason. And in this herd, you've also got mammoths and Coelodonta and Glyptodonts, which is weird. So it could be that maybe Matthew is actually working towards a mass migration in the series, maybe, and that could be a really big plot point. Like maybe that could be a season. Well, no, maybe that could be a season finale for this series, which would be really good. I mean, having like a mass hunt, and it's like all the big characters just facing off, and it's just a big. It's basically like a Royal Rumble. It's like an all-star Royal Rumble, but with dinosaurs instead of wrestlers. But yeah, they come along and they just basically start feeding. So it seems like it could be nodding towards a giant herd coming. So maybe. So up next, the herd is attacked. Well, apart from some Allosaurus, the two juvenile Allosaurus making a reappearance and like just being there, just lying down. The herd is attacked, and they are attacked by a fully grown Brute. Now Brute is back. He's like separated himself from the other Carnotaurus. Basically, this entire scene is just one gigantic reference to Disney's Dinosaur, the attack scene with the Carnotaurus. I mean, the Carnotaurus, Brute pretty much attacks a Pachyrhinosaurus, which is just like, what mate, are you kidding? Now after this, and after Brute takes a rest, we come across a new character called Pisces, who is a large female Baryonyx, and like Brute, she is larger than she should be. Now Brute is around 12 meters. Pisces, she's 13 meters. Now, you're probably thinking, what's going on here? Well, like I said with the Utahraptors, I believe that these are new species of these said genuses, pretty much, and that's the reason they're so much bigger and, you know, a bit more different than regular, because these are new species, they've evolved a bit more, they've kind of adapted to a new environment. I mean, it's like they've had to change because of the large predators like the Giganotosauruses, the Spinosauruses, the TRexes, all them lot on the island. So that's why they've probably had to change, you know, stuff like that. And what we also do is we come across Brute again, and he hears a noise and stuff like that. And then we find out that Pisces is actually battling against a female Carnotaurus. Now, it's not his sister, Brute's sister. I forget her name. Damn it. But she's not. That's not her. Very much. That's not the sister. Now, Pisces ends up slicing the throat of this Carnotaurus. That Carnotaurus dies, and then Brute actually is actually gonna go, and then he comes across 3 young Carnotauruses. And what he does, which I was hoping that Alice wouldn't do to the 2 juvenile Allosaurus, and it came true, but this one, I'm kind of on the edge of, but he actually takes care of the Carnotauruses, and he takes them off and, like, you know, stuff like that. But I'm to be honest with that, I'm not too comfortable. I don't know whether I'm alright with it or not, because Brute, I think he should be one of them characters that's kind of like the lone wolf. I mean, the titled episode is Lone Bull, so I don't know Oh, I really don't know, but I think this episode was good. I don't think it was as good as episode 2 or 1, but I do think it's a really good episode. I do think it's a really good episode. So I'm done. So thanks for watching. Hopefully, now I will be going away in the next few days. I will be away for about a week. So yeah, and some other stuff going off in my life. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you later. Bye bye.